My name is Christian Tello. I'm a photographer out of Boston. This is my first YouTube episode. The question I'm going to answer on this episode is why am I starting a YouTube channel, especially in 2025, right? Why is it so important? So, there are many reasons why I'm starting this channel. One of the main reasons is to reach a bigger audience and create a new community. This is going to be interesting because I took a different take of this video a little bit earlier today, and I started to speak about it a little bit, kind of practicing, warming myself up to just speak to the camera. And I'm basically creating this channel to connect to more creators, connect to filmmakers, videographers, other photographers, motivate them to maybe follow very similar steps. So one of the things I'm gonna do is in this channel is talk about the setup every single time, right? And just do a quick brief of what I'm using for this video. If I get a big enough audience at some point and that doesn't seem necessary, I might switch and not do that. So what I'm thinking now is kind of try to put a less creative aspect to this and just maybe make it super simple, right? So I don't burn out. Talking to the camera is already an uncomfortable thing, I think, for a lot of people. Part of the reason why it took me a long time to even make my own YouTube channel, just because it can be a very overwhelming thing, especially you start thinking about the way you look or the way people are gonna think about you, right? So that's a challenge of its own. So but for me, part of the biggest reason of this is that it's gonna be more of a business approach. So not just the mental aspect of doing this and the challenges that come along with it. Um, Technicality, right? Understanding lighting, understanding videography. If you're a photographer, you might not understand how to make a decent video with very basic knowledge. So I guess part of that, it's gonna be some sort of educational in this sense. For example, like I could talk about my gear right now. I'm using the Sony A7 IV with the 70-200 2.8 G Master, and that's the first version. For lighting, I'm using the 60D aperture. The 60X aperture light, and that's just a light I use for weddings. I use for shoots. If I want to do a constant light photo shoot, with a model, I can use that light. I have some other stuff, but just for this video alone, those are the only two things I'm using. That's a regular tripod and this mic. It's a CM28 from Neewer. Nothing crazy, right? Like you can get the same video quality. Any camera that can shoot 4K, as long as you have great lighting, you can get away with it, right? So I guess to also please the YouTube algorithm, if you have 4K videos, they're most likely to push a video rather than recording at 1080. They're looking, I guess, for that, at least that base quality content, and that's from what I've been learning. And why am I starting now, right? Why is this so important for me to start this channel in 2025, right? And part of it's that from what I've been looking at online and in my own experience is that not just your audience but local businesses, local entrepreneurs, they want to know who they're hiring, right? And this is a great chance for me to express myself and show what kind of person I am and why am I aligned to their projects, right? There's a lot of companies that need this kind of work, where it comes to video production, documentary, commercial, even photographers now. A lot of them, old school guys, they're really not comfortable with showing their face, right? It's a big challenge themselves. The reason why they want to like to be behind the camera, not have to do this themselves, right? Always of promoting your photography in the past would be Google Ads, right? Getting yourself listed, getting your business listed on Google, and creating a website, having a portfolio online, which is a lot of those are still relevant, right? But you're gonna get a lot of clients that are looking for either a 16th birthday party, a quinceanera, or all these other things or weddings, right? Maybe last minute weddings that need a photographer to change their mind. So they Google you, they find you, and you become an option, right? But for me, in that sense, is you can do that all you want. You can do that for the rest of your life. But it's gonna from it hinders the creativity of a creator, right? Or a photographer, videographer, what it may be. That alone, it's kind of you're just flexing with your technical skill and what you can do, but the sense of creativity is very limited, right? Because you don't want to go crazy. You don't want to give them something super dramatic that they might not like, something that they might not visualize for themselves, something that might be a little too extra to show their family. So that's something to keep in mind, right? That way, this could motivate other creators to do this themselves, right? And use these methods to promote themselves locally, whether it's here in Boston or on the West Coast, or this never picks up traction. Then you can study what I may have done wrong, and learn from that itself, right? So even if you're 5 viewers every week, and you can learn something from this video, I hope you do, and that's enough for me. A lot of the challenges for this, whether this kicks off or not, or it's gonna be a lot of self learning, right? And just holding myself accountable, right? Because now that I started these videos, the hardest challenge was to start, right? So now that this is gonna be posted, this is gonna be out there. You put your vulnerable self out there. So I feel like once you're past the beginning of this, um, it'd be very easy to make the second, third, fourth, fifth video. So me holding myself accountable, my goal is to post a video every week, right? Whatever the topic may be, it's gonna be in the business side or the creative side of photography, filmmaking, video editing, videography, whatever it may be. Um, I'm gonna try. I'm definitely gonna stay around that area for the most part. Some of them is gonna be motivational, right? Like what drives you to get a creative? What would you do if what do you do when your creativity is being hindered, right, by external factors or different things? But I guess one of the things that I was gonna talk about is, right, showing the mindset behind why I do what I do, right? And if you can take anything out of it, you can apply it to yourself. If you have questions of why I do certain things and why I approach things, the business side is because I started from the business world, and now I'm connecting a business mindset to the creative mindset, right? Which is, for me, photography. Throughout those times, I learned a lot of skills, which was videography and filmmaking, just by working with different companies, different collaborations. There are many reasons and many aspects of why having a visual presence, especially on social media, is so important to grow. I want to build partnerships with companies. Part of that is getting affiliations, right? So, for example, I'm just gonna read some of this, like, to be transparent. I don't really create a script for any of this. This is more gonna be me vlogging, whatever challenge I may have had, something I can share and people can relate to and maybe learn from it. I'm in the process of I'm in the middle of a lot of projects right now, and this is just another addition to that. Like I said, it's not very hard. It probably took me about 10-15 minutes to set this up, right? The second episode, the background might change, right? I'm gonna try to match the lighting. As the way I'm looking at this, as long as I'm well exposed, right, and there's a sense of separation between the background and me, that's all you essentially need to do for this, right? So there's a bigger depth into it, and you gotta ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is this beneficial for me? Does this align to my goals, right? Does this is this a waste of time for what my vision is for the future of my career? And freelancing is not for everyone. You can make it. People make their freelance life a 9 to 5 job, right? They just go from gig to gig, holding minis. I guess in photography at least, and it can be very overwhelming, right? For some reason, everyone thinks that if you if you give someone else a client, that you miss out on it and then your career is gonna hinder. It's just not the case, right? Not every client is gonna be a good match to you. Not every client is gonna have the same vision as you, and you can't, if if you can't align in that, it's gonna be a very hard. It's gonna be very hard to work together, and you're gonna have more challenges than success. I would say there's gonna be a lot of learning, but it could definitely backfire and then put you in situations where uh, you wish you never even started, right? So as long as you're aware of that, you can take that pressure off yourself, right? And see what's important for you. So if you can do that, I think you have a better chance of being successful and learn better lessons. My approach for this is gonna be find a new level of authenticity when it comes to sponsors. If I start adding, if my video starts developing to more of a production, right, where I have crazy edits, where I put a crazy B-roll, and things start becoming more of a production, then like that video is being influenced by sponsors, right? So there's no better way to do that than starting fresh. This video alone is creating that pathway for me to get more opportunities. In the minimum, right, I can have at least 3 reels and 3 TikToks out of this one long-term content, right? And then if there's reference to it, I can go straight to YouTube. So there are many ways for people to see you, many ways for people to reach out to you. Maybe even locally. Like for me, I'm out of Boston, so this is an invitation alone for other creators in Boston to maybe keep creating and collaborating together and work out deals, make money out of it too. So this isn't just for fun. This isn't just for educational things and sharing vlogging, right? This is a business thing as well. Part of the motivates this video is going to be business oriented, right? Ads, right? Whether you get 1,000 followers on YouTube or 4,000 hours, and you start getting the AdSense, right? The AdSense starts kicking in. You can start making some money of ad revenue. This week, I'm going to be working on a lot of. I'm going to be going to events, looking for new clients, looking for people that need the video support, especially, right? Just because photographers, there's so many, and it's a very challenging industry. I've gotten more opportunity in the video aspect of it, so now that's gonna be the business side of it. Photography is gonna be more in the creative outlook, but there's no there's enough time for both. So for me, business side is gonna be a lot of this videos and creating plots, creating stories. The goal for this channel is to create the most effortless path to increase revenue, and it's gonna be very very obvious as this progresses. If I get sponsors, if I get different opportunities that will be spoken about on this video, and there will be on these videos, and you will see the production maybe either level up or create a new next level way of storytelling, right? So this is just the beginning of it. This is just to start holding myself accountable to making these videos, and hopefully it helps somebody out. It helps somebody that's struggling that has the same idea, that has the same concept of creating these videos, and maybe motivate them to do this themselves too. Right? This is the beginning of that, and hopefully this also encourages more and more people to just put themselves out there and not care what other people think. This is just the beginning of using a new platform and seeing how far I can take it. Like I said, I'm gonna be trying to post these videos consistently, at least once. I'm hoping once a week, right? And if that gets pushed to more videos a week, then I'll do that. But the next one will be more topic oriented, so then the video can have easier outreach, right? So the next one might be gear reviews, locations, events, lessons learned, right? Things like that. Maybe I'll think of a situation where I made a mistake and things didn't go as I thought they would. So but it's all gonna end up being circling back, and the source is going to be creativity with photography, videography. I'm open to always working with different projects, right? Because those bring different opportunities. So the goal is to keep aligning with people with similar visions that I have, right? And we'll see where that takes us. All right, peace.